Mayor Nenshi, you spoke to brokers today about resilient communities. Can you tell us what you mean when you use a term like that?
Sure. One of the challenges we had for quite a long period of time is that we were building neighborhoods that weren't designed from the ground up to be mixed neighborhoods, mixed in age, in income, in life status. And the problem you have there is if everyone who lives in the neighborhood is exactly the same age and has kids who are the same age, then you're going to have no schools, you're going to have overcrowded classrooms, you're going to have hockey rinks that are impossible to get ice time on. But as those kids get older and there's no further kids to replace them, the infrastructure will not be well used. So our newest neighborhoods in Calgary, the ones that have started being built in the last 5 years or so, are built with that kind of mixing up as part of the DNA of the neighborhood. So to make a place that's attractive for empty nesters and seniors, as well as for people just starting out, as well as for couples with young kids, all in one place, makes a ton of sense so that we can encourage people to be able to live different life stages of their lives in the same neighborhood. And that allows us a much more efficient use of the infrastructure we're building to service the neighborhood.
You reminded the brokers that you've brought a challenge to realtors about how they could help build a better city. Can you remind us what you said?
Realtors serve a really important role because they are the trusted advisors. They're the people who give information to you as you're making the most important purchase in your life. And my call out to realtors is to say it's more than about selling the house. It's about building the city. So when you're going out to people who are buying a house, help them understand not just the house, but also the neighborhood they're buying. How does it fit into their lifestyle? How does it fit into their life cycle? Will it be able to serve them well going into the future? Because remember that every single sale you make is a statement about the kind of community we're building and the kind of future that we're building. So if we want mixed neighborhoods, take a risk. Don't think, oh, because someone is from this sociocultural background or this income, these are the neighborhoods I will funnel them to, or vice versa. Take that risk and actually say, what would happen if I take this person closer to their workplace, or I give them an idea of a neighborhood they never would have considered before, even though it makes a lot of sense for them. And in doing that, your work becomes part of the incredible community building that we're doing throughout the city.
You talked on the 4 needs for the city to become greater than it is now. Can you touch on those quickly?
We live in a great place. We live in a place where we should all be proud of what we've managed to craft together. But we can be even better. And very briefly, even better transportation. Making sure that we're respecting people's choices, whether they choose to drive, take transit, walk, or cycle, and making sure that people are validated in those choices and we're not overly favoring the car or transit or walking over any other choice, but that people have those choices. Even better community. We have to make sure that we're looking after everyone in this community. We have to implement the poverty reduction strategy, and we have to invest in all those things that make life worth living in a city. Sport and recreation, arts and culture, public transit, great inspiring public spaces, a vibrant square so that people can say, I'm happy to live here. I'm not here because I have to be, I'm here because I choose to be. Even better government. We've gotten a great start over the last 3 years on cutting red tape, on making government more efficient and more effective in delivering the services that people need. We can be much better. And we need to continue to do that, particularly in the area of development and land use and approvals. And I hope that if I'm re-elected, we have the opportunity to really blow up that department and craft something new that makes it easier to build good stuff. Finally, even better growth. Our long-term plans are to have a 50-50 split of growth between brand new areas and established neighborhoods. Right now, it's about 95-5. And so we need to both encourage people to redevelop in existing neighborhoods, especially along transit and transportation corridors, but we also need to make sure that those new suburbs are sustainable, thoughtfully built, and resilient. And I think that the brand new neighborhoods that are being built right now are moving a long way towards that.
What would you like to see happen with secondary suites?
You know, secondary suites is, I don't mind admitting, the biggest policy failure of my first term. I was short 1 vote. And we need to do what every other city in Canada has done, which is legalize these so that we can regulate them and we can ensure that people have safe and decent places to live. For me, it's a moral and an ethical issue as much as an economic issue. We have consigned tens of thousands of our neighbors to a world where they don't deserve or have the same legal rights as the rest of us. If their landlord is abusing them, if their place is unsafe, they have no recourse. and we have to fix it. And I strongly believe the right way to fix it is to legalize them across the city, allow anybody in any home in the city to apply for a secondary suite as long as it meets the basic fire and building code regulations, as long as parking makes sense, and as long as they can ensure their neighbors that this would be a good addition to the neighborhood.
Are there any parting thoughts you'd like to leave with our members?
This is an important election. And I'll speak politically for a second. A lot of folks think this might be a sleepy election, but we're at a pivotal point in our history, and the decisions we make in this election will define the future direction of this city. So I would really love to say to people, get out and vote. Encourage everyone you know to vote, learn more about the candidates, and we'll see you at the ballot box.